Las Vegas has always marketed itself as a playground where anyone can win big, but behind the shimmering neon lights and the endless advertising lies a truth far more unsettling. The Strip today is not collapsing, it is being rebuilt on the backs of unsuspecting tourists, and the secrets fueling it are worth billions of dollars. Every hidden resort fee, every inflated room rate, every new charge for parking or bottled water is part of a system designed to drain visitors before they even sit down at a slot machine. Games like Triple Zero Roulette quietly tilt the odds further in the casino's favor, raking in hundreds of millions, while most players never realize the math has changed. At the same time, corporate giants like MGM Resorts, Caesars Entertainment, and Wynn Resorts boast on their Wall Street earnings calls about record profits, even as the city welcomes far fewer visitors than before. In 2016, Las Vegas drew more than 42 million tourists. This year, the number has plunged to just 19.66 million year-to-date, yet the Strip still generated over $4.3 billion in revenue. The numbers don't add up unless you realize the collapse of affordable Vegas was never a mistake. It was always a strategy. Tourists have been betrayed, locals have been left behind, and the casinos are thriving. Today we'll uncover the billion-dollar secrets of Las Vegas and reveal what they never wanted you to know. The transformation of Las Vegas into a billion-dollar machine begins with something that most tourists overlook until it's too late: hidden fees. What used to be a straightforward hotel stay has turned into a minefield of surprise charges, and no fee has been more controversial than the infamous resort fee. Once pitched as a way to cover amenities like Wi-Fi or gym access, resort fees today often reach $30 to $50 per night tacked onto bills, whether guests use those amenities or not. That means a 3-night stay at a 190th average room rate in 2025 actually costs hundreds more once taxes and fees are included. Add to that parking charges, which were free on the Strip just a decade ago, but now run as high as $25 per day, and tourists are already out hundreds of dollars before they've even touched the casino floor. This system isn't just greedy, it may be illegal. In 2023, lawsuits were filed against MGM Resorts and Caesars Entertainment, accusing them of price fixing by coordinating resort fees through online booking platforms. Plaintiffs argued that visitors had no real choice because nearly every major hotel charged the same hidden costs, eliminating competition. Meanwhile, smaller expenses are stacked quietly on top service charges, at restaurants' fees for early check-in, even charges for a refrigerator that may already be in the room. All of it adds up to billions in extra revenue each year. For the casinos, this shift means they no longer need the Strip packed with middle-class families. With fewer visitors paying far more per head, the system is leaner, more profitable, and more exclusive than ever. What looks like a city struggling to attract tourists is in reality a city profiting from them more ruthlessly than at any time in its history. This is the first secret of the Vegas collapse. Tourists are no longer guests. They are targets in a carefully engineered financial trap. If the hidden fees weren't enough, the very games that made Las Vegas famous have quietly been reprogrammed to squeeze more money out of every visitor. For decades, gamblers accepted the reality that the house always wins. But what many don't realize is that the rules have shifted further and further against them. The most notorious example is Triple Zero Roulette, a game that looks almost identical to traditional roulette, but adds an extra zero to the wheel. In classic roulette, the house edge sits at 5.26%. With the addition of a third zero, that edge skyrockets to 7.69%, giving the casino millions in extra profit each year. Analysts estimate that Strip casinos make hundreds of millions annually from this single change, yet most players never notice until their bankrolls disappear faster than expected. The same pattern repeats across other games. Blackjack. Once the best chance for skilled players to win has seen payouts for a natural blackjack reduced from the traditional 3-to-2 ratio down to 6-to-5, effectively slashing player winnings by 17%. Even small tweaks like restrictions on doubling down or reshuffling cards more often add up to a fortune for the casinos. Meanwhile, slot machines, which already account for more than half of gaming revenue, have been tightened to increase their hold percentage, the measure of how much money the casino keeps from every dollar wagered. In the 1990s, the average hold percentage hovered around 5 to 6%. Today, it's closer to 9 to 10% on the Strip, meaning players are losing their money almost twice as fast as they did a generation ago. According to the Nevada Gaming Control Board, slot revenue reached record highs, even as the number of players fell, proving that the games have been engineered for efficiency, not entertainment. Tourists who once could spend an evening at a machine with $100 now find themselves broke within an hour. For the casinos, this isn't a problem, it's the plan. Every spin, every shuffle, every new rule tilts the odds just a little more until the outcome is inevitable. And just like with hidden fees, these changes allow casinos to profit more from fewer visitors. Even as Las Vegas welcomed just 19.66 million visitors in 2025, down from 42 million in 2016, gaming revenues on the Strip topped $4.3 billion, an extraordinary achievement that defies the appearance of decline. The secret is simple. The games are no longer about chance. They're about control. What tourists believe is luck has been mathematically stripped away, leaving behind a system designed to drain wallets with surgical precision. This is the second billion-dollar secret of Las Vegas. The house doesn't just have the edge anymore, it has rewritten the rules entirely. Behind the curtain of flashing lights and celebrity performances lies a power structure that controls nearly every aspect of the Las Vegas Strip. The corporate giants, MGM Resorts, Caesars Entertainment, and Wynn Resorts. Together, these three companies own or operate the majority of the hotels and casinos along the Strip, meaning competition is more illusion than reality. When one raises resort fees or increases room rates, the others quickly follow, creating a system where tourists have little choice but to pay. This dominance has been exposed in court. In 2023 and 2024, lawsuits accused MGM and Caesars of collusion in price fixing, particularly through algorithms on booking platforms like Expedia that allowed hotels to monitor and match each other's fees in real time. For tourists, it looked like the market had spoken. In reality, the corporations had spoken to each other. The concentration of power also explains why casinos are able to weather declines in tourism. Instead of relying solely on gambling, these companies have shifted their revenue model. In the 1990s, more than 65% of Vegas revenue came from gaming. By 2024, that number had flipped. 65% now comes from non-gaming sources like hotels, restaurants, entertainment, and conventions, with gambling providing just 35%. This diversification means that even when fewer people visit the city, profits remain steady, because those who do come are spending far more on luxury dining, concerts, and exclusive experiences. A prime example is the Formula One Las Vegas Grand Prix in 2023, an event that shut down city streets for weeks and cost taxpayers more than $20 million in infrastructure and sponsorship deals. While locals complained of chaos and small businesses reported losses, casinos raked in profits from international high rollers who flew in for the spectacle. MGM and Caesars built luxury viewing platforms, sold packages worth thousands, and treated the event as a showcase of their dominance. For the corporations, it was a victory. For residents, it was a reminder that the city's priorities no longer belong to its people. The corporate web extends further through lobbying and political influence. Former regulators from the Nevada Gaming Control Board now hold positions inside the very companies they once monitored, blurring the line between oversight and partnership. City councils and state lawmakers often bend to casino demands, granting favorable tax breaks or approving controversial projects with little public input. The result is a system where decisions about Las Vegas's future are made not in public forums, but in corporate boardrooms. To the tourist walking down the Strip, these billion-dollar secrets are invisible. But the reality is that every fee, every inflated price, every disrupted neighborhood traces back to a handful of corporations with a stranglehold on the city. The Strip may glitter with variety, But beneath the surface, it is controlled by a cartel of companies whose only loyalty is to their bottom line. This is the third billion-dollar secret of Las Vegas. It is not a city of competition and freedom, it is a monopoly disguised as entertainment. For the millions of people who once considered Las Vegas a rite of passage, the new reality of the Strip feels like betrayal. Tourists who dreamed of cheap rooms and all-you-can-eat buffets now find themselves trapped in a city that bleeds their wallets before they even step into a casino. A family of 4 planning a 3-night trip today faces an average room rate of $198 per night, plus $40 to $50 daily resort fees, plus parking charges, plus inflated food prices at restaurants that often tack on service charges without warning. By the time airfare, meals, and entertainment are added, the cost of a simple weekend can soar above $2,000, far out of reach for middle-class Americans who once drove in from California or Arizona for a quick getaway. For international visitors, the shock is just as sharp. Many compare the cost of a Vegas weekend to a full week-long vacation in Cancún or Barcelona, where hotels and dining cost half as much. Yet, while tourists feel cheated, the impact on locals has been even more devastating. The pivot toward exclusivity has left thousands behind. In 2024 alone, Las Vegas lost more than 20,000 hospitality jobs, a figure that rippled across Clark County as bars, diners, and small shops shuttered due to lack of affordable visitors. The jobs that remain often pay little more than minimum wage, even as the average rent in Las Vegas jumped 40% in just 5 years, reaching nearly $1,400 for a one-bedroom apartment. Those who once relied on steady casino work now find themselves juggling 2 or 3 jobs just to cover basic expenses. Homelessness has surged, with more than 6,500 people sleeping on the streets or in shelters each night, many of them former casino employees, priced out of the very city they helped sustain. For residents, the shimmering towers of the Strip are no longer symbols of pride. They are fortresses of wealth that exclude the community outside their walls. Locals recall how the city once thrived on a balanced mass. Tourism filled the streets, smaller businesses benefited from foot traffic, and casino jobs supported families. Now that balance has been destroyed. The corporations running the Strip prefer fewer, richer visitors, and in chasing those profits, they've abandoned the very people who gave Las Vegas its character. Even cultural traditions have eroded. Iconic buffets have closed, replaced by high-end celebrity chef restaurants. Family-friendly attractions have been scaled back in favor of adult-only luxury experiences. What was once a destination where every American could feel part of the show has become a stage only for those who can pay premium prices. The irony is that this transformation doesn't just alienate visitors, it erases the community itself. Locals are increasingly disconnected from the Strip, treating it as a separate world rather than the beating heart of their city. This is the fourth billion-dollar secret of Las Vegas, that the city's prosperity has been rebuilt, not by including more people, but by pushing them out. Tourists priced into shock, and locals priced into despair. As Las Vegas narrows its focus to a smaller elite audience, the rest of the world has stepped in to capture the millions of tourists left behind. The global competition is fierce, and the numbers show that Vegas's loss has become everyone else's gain. In Mexico, resort destinations like Cancún, Los Cabos, and Playa del Carmen have seen a boom, with tourism boards reporting a 15% year-over-year increase in American visitors in 2024. All-inclusive packages there often cost less than a weekend on the Strip, making the choice easy for middle-class families. Meanwhile, European cities such as Barcelona, Lisbon, and Prague have marketed themselves as both affordable and culturally rich alternatives, attracting travelers who once might have splurged on Vegas. The rise of low-cost airlines across Europe only makes these destinations more competitive, offering travelers the chance to explore entire continents for the price of one Vegas trip. At the higher end of the spectrum, the wealthy gamblers and high rollers Vegas covets now split their attention with Macau, Dubai, and Singapore. Macau alone generated more than $22 billion in gaming revenue in 2024, dwarfing the $4.3 billion earned on the Strip. Dubai, with its lavish integrated resorts and global shopping meccas, offers exclusivity with a backdrop of international prestige. Singapore's Marina Bay Sands, often cited as one of the most luxurious casinos in the world, combines gaming with high culture and elite shopping experiences that make Vegas's offerings feel dated by comparison. Even Canada has benefited. Cities like Toronto and Montreal have leaned into festivals, nightlife, and cultural tourism, siphoning off young travelers who might once have chosen Nevada. The global fallout of Vegas's strategy is that it has surrendered its role as the people's playground. The Strip, once a symbol of accessible entertainment, is now a gated experience, while other countries and cities are scooping up the demand for affordable fun. For airlines, hotel chains, and foreign governments, Vegas's collapse has created an unexpected opportunity. Investments are flowing overseas, new jobs are being created in emerging tourism hubs, and global tourism is being reshaped in real time. The winners are those who embraced inclusivity while Las Vegas doubled down on exclusivity. The cruel irony is that this was never an accident. The city's corporate leaders knew they could survive with fewer visitors if each visitor spent more, and they accepted that others would reap the rewards of mass tourism. The Strip didn't lose tourists by chance, it pushed them away. And those tourists now fuel a worldwide boom, proving that what Vegas calls collapse is for the rest of the world a windfall. This is the $5 billion secret of Las Vegas, that by betraying ordinary tourists, the city has handed over its crown to global competitors who are only too eager to take it. If Las Vegas is to recover its soul and reconnect with the millions of tourists and locals it has pushed aside, change will not come from the corporations that engineered the collapse. It must come from pressure, reform, and competition. One solution lies in transparency of fees. Lawmakers in Nevada and across the United States have already floated legislation to ban hidden resort fees and force hotels to display full upfront prices. If such rules are enforced, the casino's billion-dollar fee trap could be dismantled, restoring trust with visitors who currently feel cheated. Another path forward is stronger gaming regulation. The Nevada Gaming Control Board has the authority to review payout ratios and house advantages, but critics argue it has been too lenient. A more aggressive stance, forcing casinos to return to fairer odds or limiting exploitative game changes like Triple Zero Roulette, could help restore the sense of chance that once defined Vegas. Beyond regulation, diversification is key. Cities like Macau and Dubai attract both elite gamblers and mainstream tourists by blending casinos with cultural experiences, shopping, and accessible attractions. Las Vegas could learn from this model by reinvesting in family-friendly entertainment, affordable dining options, and cultural festivals that broaden its appeal. On the local level, policies to protect residents are essential. Affordable housing initiatives, wage protections for casino workers, and reinvestment of gaming tax revenues into community programs could help repair the damage caused by decades of corporate dominance. Finally, tourists themselves hold power. With travel options expanding globally, visitors can vote with their wallets. If enough people reject inflated prices and unfair games, casinos will be forced to adapt or risk losing relevance entirely. The truth is that Las Vegas does not need to choose between exclusivity and accessibility. It can be both. But it will only happen if ordinary Americans demand a return to fairness, transparency, and community. Without change, the Strip will remain a billion-dollar trap. With change, it can once again become the city where everyone has a chance. The story of modern Las Vegas is not one of decline, but of betrayal. What once was America's most accessible playground has been transformed into a fortress of exclusivity, where hidden fees, rigged games, and corporate monopolies ensure that ordinary tourists no longer stand a chance. The resort fees that drain wallets before check-in, the Triple Zero Roulette wheels that erase the illusion of fairness, the dominance of MGM Caesars, and Wynn controlling every inch of the Strip, all of it reveals a city rebuilt not for the millions, but for the privileged few. Along the way, locals have been cast aside, facing layoffs, soaring rents, and rising homelessness, while global destinations from Cancún to Macau thrive on the tourists Vegas abandoned. The secrets are worth billions, but the cost is measured in broken promises and shattered communities. The neon still glows, the music still plays, and the casinos still report record profits on Wall Street. But beneath the glitter lies a truth most visitors never see. Las Vegas did not collapse, it cashed out on its people. And that leaves us with one haunting question. If a city once built on dreams can be reshaped into a machine designed to exclude, what does that say about the future of every other place built on the same promise? In the end, Vegas didn't just betray its tourists, it betrayed the very idea that anyone could belong there.